So if you have been on YouTube long enough, you've probably realized that there's a pattern in every viral YouTube video, and once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it. So I've broken it down across hundreds of viral channels. I've studied thousands of videos, and I found every single one triggers the same 3 psychological biases, and they're the same ones that all my students and I use to achieve some crazy results with YouTube. So today I'm breaking them down step by step so you can finally stop gambling away your money to the algorithm and start engineering videos that actually blow up. Now, the reason why you haven't been successful with YouTube isn't because the platform hates you or it's punishing you. Rather, it's because you don't yet understand the psychology behind virality. Essentially, you don't understand why videos go viral in the first place. So let's talk about the problem. If you don't understand how psychology works and what provokes people to watch your videos, you're going to be stuck in an endless cycle of just copying videos from other channels. Essentially just creating the exact same video and then re-uploading it and getting no results. And think about it. You've already watched tens, if not hundreds of YouTube growth videos, and they always talk about the same thing: the niche, the algorithm hack, the secret upload time. And you've tried all those things, but nothing has changed. And that's simply because all these videos talk about tactics, but they rarely talk about why these tactics actually work. And not understanding that is where you are falling short on your channel. Because YouTube isn't just a platform where you upload your videos and pray they go viral. It is an attention economy machine, and attention is the main source of income on YouTube. And that's how those who understand it are able to quickly start up channels from scratch and scale them to 6 figures in a matter of months. And now attention, well, that is driven by human psychology. And if you ignore that, you're leaving your growth, essentially leaving luck as the determining factor to grow a channel, which could be the actual thing that changes your entire life. Guys, be honest, in the current state of your life, would you base your future on luck or your relationships or your income? Probably not. So you need to understand this. Otherwise, you're throwing away what could be complete financial transformation for you. And now the main problem is that you're just adding more videos to your channel, but you're not engineering your videos to hit the biases that trigger the algorithm, nor make the audience care about what you're saying. Without doing this correctly, some videos will get traffic, but most of them will just plateau, which is likely what you're experiencing right now. And all you need to do to ensure that your videos are consistently hitting the algorithm is to understand these 3 psychological biases. And if you haven't heard what they are, make sure you listen and take notes, because learning this will make or break your videos moving forward. The first bias on the list is the curiosity gap. People click because they sense something missing or unresolved. They want to know the end of the story. Take this video for example, which is The Science of Procrastination. The title itself builds curiosity and intrigue to the point where you're sitting there questioning, what even is the science of procrastination? Is there something that I don't know about procrastination that will teach me in this video? Could this video help me beat my own bad habit of procrastinating? The more you can get someone to stop scrolling, ask themselves questions, and pique curiosity, that's how you win. But that curiosity doesn't just stop at the title. The hook itself should also create curiosity. In the example I just brought up, the video starts by calling out the viewer, and then he starts dropping value, which in turn brings up more questions and continues to build more curiosity all the way through. For example, the video starts by saying that procrastination and laziness aren't the same. And hearing that immediately brings up so many more questions. That is how you hook somebody in. So you can see it's important to create multiple curiosity points to reel in the viewer and keep them watching to the end. And this is why it's absolutely crucial to be the expert of your niche, to really understand what your viewers want to watch, why they want to watch it, and how to trigger curiosity at the highest capacity so they can't resist but to watch and always come back for more. All right, now the second psychological bias is social proof. So now people will subconsciously watch content because they believe others are watching, therefore this video or information must matter. Now this is also known as the everyone is doing it effect. And I may be asking yourself, how can you use this effect if you don't already have thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers? Well, it's actually quite simple. The concept is to leverage other people's social proof, specifically public figures. And I'm not talking about just copying what famous influencers are doing, but rather doing something like this.
We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature, because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
So this here is a prime example of social hacking. The creator is using a well-known figure by the name of Carl Jung, and so he's leveraging famous people to create videos with recognizable names and faces to draw the attention of the viewers. Because when a human sees something they recognize, they're naturally more drawn to it due to the trust that's already built from the recognition, right? So this is essentially the same reason why premium brands can charge you 10 times the actual price of something, because of the authority behind it. Now, this concept can come in very handy when you're creating your videos and you want to bypass the more natural and slow growth curves that most people experience. But even as a big channel, you can still leverage social hacking, since it's the easiest psychological hacks that you can use to trick people to lure them into your videos. Once again, don't just use this in your titles and thumbnail, leverage it throughout your scripts whenever you can. In the video I just showed you, the creator starts off with a quote from Carl Jung and then even shows a video of him talking. Now, obviously, he's leveraging Jung's social proof to make whatever the next statements are more believable, and to make the viewer pay more attention and overall just give more credibility to the video. And since there's a famous figure already spoken, you're now much more likely to listen and trust what the video is going to say next. This channel is leveraging social proof at its finest, but don't worry, because after watching this video, you guys are going to know exactly how to leverage it as well to get the same exact results. Now, the next bias is emotional intensity. It doesn't mean being dramatic for drama's sake. It means you master the art of tapping into emotion, whether it be fear, joy, envy, or surprise. The goal is to get the content to hook at a deeper level. You're essentially doing this in order to create a connection with your audience. And if you do that, people will actually feel connected to you, and not just with your videos, which is arguably way more important. Now, the first way to do this is by tapping into negative psychology, just like how this channel, Pella Explains, does it in this video, right? So the video is called How to Survive These Deadly Situations, which this video makes you feel anxious probably because you realize that you probably don't actually know how to survive these deadly situations. So clearly leveraging your emotions, not only with the title, but also with the thumbnail. And as you can see here, he's showing someone drowning, making the viewer potentially feel anxious and fear because you may not actually know, again, how to survive that specific situation, which you thought you might have been able to. And now going back to what we previously said, he also draws out curiosity on how you can survive these situations, which draws you so much more into the topic. Learn the art of combining curiosity with emotions to get clicks, and you'll never fail to get hundreds of thousands of views on your videos. Now, with a video like this, the intention is to leverage positive emotions and make you feel interested in the video, since you may just have some of the signs that make you smarter. And again, this also sparks curiosity, drawing out questions like, do I have these signs, right? How can weird habits make me smart, right? So he's leveraging your emotions of joy and interest and mixing it up with curiosity. That's exactly what made this video get more than 500,000 views in just 4 short months. And as you can see, these 3 psychological biases are all tied together. And if you manage to use all 3 of them in your videos consistently, your channel will have no choice but to be favored in the algorithm. Now, although I've thoroughly explained what all of this is, I haven't necessarily explained how to apply. So I think it's time I show you guys step by step, because honestly, it would be useless to have all this knowledge and not know how to use it when making your videos, which is why I created a step-by-step strategy that you can apply right now to design your next video so it ticks off all 3 biases. The first step is to identify the big result that your audience wants. For example, if the goal is being how to learn to have a healthy body, so you need to ask yourself, what is the aim of this video and why am I making this video to begin with, right? But throughout this process, make sure to actually go in depth with it. Start by writing ideas out, rough drafts. Don't worry about making your titles, your hooks, or your scripts perfect at first. Just write what comes out to mind. You also want to trace out what your big goal is. Like in the end result, what do you really want your audience to feel? Now, a second way to apply what you learn is to curate your titles and thumbnails to hit that curiosity gap. And also add social proof, meaning your titles should create the first curiosity gap. Like in the examples we analyzed before, your titles need to create emotions and make the viewer ask themselves reflective questions. And the best way to implement this is just to imagine yourself as the viewer, honestly. Put yourself in their shoes and try and notice if questions start arising. This is the best way to test if your title is going to convert. And now, to be very honest, the easiest way to make this happen is just to pick a niche that you're already interested in. For example, if you like history, create a history channel and write down questions that come to your mind. Then just base the titles on those questions. Now, moving on to your thumbnail, because having a great title just isn't enough if you can't back it up with a great thumbnail. Guys, the thumbnail is the most important part of your video, since it's what catches the attention of the viewer, not the title. but you should make sure that your thumbnail never just repeats what's being said in the title, rather complement it. It should emphasize your title. And you can do this again by just imagining yourself as a viewer and asking yourself, would you be dying to watch this video? And if the answer is no, you got to change something. The reason why we need to focus on the intro so much is because it is the most important part of your script. And if you can't keep your viewers retained for the first 30 seconds, you've already lost from the start. On average, YouTube loses around 50% of the viewers in the first 30 seconds. Now, obviously, this significantly decreases. So to check your retention, you can go into your backend and analytics and then go to video insights and check your first 30-second graph. If your hook is losing 50% of the audience, it's going to be hard for you to go viral. If you can get about 75% or higher, you're in the green. So you may be asking yourself, well, how do I do that? How do I make this intro better? Well, guys, in the intro, we need to sell the viewers on what we promised in the title and the thumbnail. You can do that by first and foremost, the easiest thing is just by confirming what we already said in the title or by answering some of the questions we talked about before. But answer those questions by creating other curiosity gaps. For example, in this video, as you can see in the hook, he literally confirms what the title suggests. Are you traveling through time right now? But how can you travel through time backwards, right? But then he says that research shows that time travel is possible and it's safe. But this raises too many questions. How can time travel be possible and how can it be safe, right? Then the creator cuts both these questions off by asking, would you do it? This is, again, a very easy way that you can create curiosity gaps in your viewer's mind. Bring up the questions yourself so that even if the viewer wasn't originally asking themselves questions, now that you brought it up, they want to know the answer. Now, I just want to add one of the most important factors of success is going to be consistency and iteration. Everybody in your niche is fighting for the same viewers, which is why you need to be posting consistently. If your viewers know that you post consistently, your content is great, they will refer back to you, which means more frequency, in turn will give you more watch time on your videos. And that will allow all your videos to go viral. There are hundreds of thousands of hours of content being uploaded every single day, and YouTube has to carefully choose which channels in your niche deserve to be shown in the algorithm. So one of the most important factors that determine that choice is just consistency. If you post 2 times a month, YouTube's probably not going to prefer you over somebody who posts every single day, or even just 2 to 3 times a week. But remember, just posting isn't enough. You need to improve, iterate, and continue testing until you dial everything in. And even after you apply all these biases, you'll still need to test what works for you best in your niche, right? Make sure that you're constantly studying your analytics dashboard. This is not just a bunch of random numbers on the screen. They are direct indicators of what is working and what isn't. Does your viewers drop off in the first 30 seconds? Improve your hook. Do they drop off through the middle of the script? Add pattern interrupts and rehooks. Do your viewers just not click on your videos? That means your thumbnails, titles, or your topics are garbage and you need to fix it yesterday. Guys, YouTube prizes those who improve and those who are consistent and obviously make their videos better than other ones. So focus on that and you'll get results before you even know it.